Hey guys, it's AJ back. It's where's my cape, man? It's cold here. Ah, you see, this is what happens. Canadian, indigenous Canadian. He's look, his chest is out to the wind. Facing it, no problem. Facing the south side. This is southwest, man. But anyway, we're living in northeast. This is AJ back. For the record, guys, it is 5:55, March the 28th. So I'm here with Uncle Dick. I just need to introduce you to my brother, Uncle Dick. That's right. Why are you laughing? That's his name. Here's the thing, man. It's interesting because I've been here for 4 days, and the night before I got here, actually, I had just been, blessed, grateful. I had slept, one night before in the airport because thanks to the community, right? We're Canadian citizen, so the government has shelters for you, and then if you're from the community, say you're from the Cree community or from the, Spanish or, Hindu or Punjab or Muslim community or, you name it, Christian community, you name it, right? You're part of that community and you share those values. Right now, my brother and I, of course, he's Cree, indigenous Cree, whereas I'm indigenous Palestinian. That's why you see me wearing a hoodie. For those who don't know what...
And a cape.
Indigenous Palestinian, exactly, and a cape. This is my cape, man. The indigenous Palestinian is basically what? It's Middle East, man. It's hot, all right? So I cannot climatize here forever, man. So this is me, man. I'm Canadian just as much. Guess what? We both are actually law-abiding citizens, so to speak, right? You look natural.
Careful,
law, man.
car.
Oh, there we go. Oh, nobody has to hear you now. So there are kids here. The kids here. This is Filipino brother. See, nice people, man. This stuff for the kids. Beautiful, man. Beautiful, beautiful. This is easy, man. But this is not a safe area. Is this a safe area here?
No, God, no.
Holy shit, you don't want to be here, man, because this is northeast Calgary. So you have to understand, so in Ottawa, they call it the South. So if you're in Ottawa South, you're screwed just as much if you are in Calgary North.
You're in northeast Calgary, man, you're in hell. Trust me.
That's it. And this is a man, he's local. He's been here, how many years has he been here for?
Since 2000.
Since 2000. We are now 2025. Oh, my. So the 25 years Jubilee.
Yeah.
Jubilee, 25 years, right? So, and you have to understand what was happening here. So essentially, this is the time it has taken for things to change over time. My brother, he hasn't changed. What do you do for a living before?
I used to be a mover.
That's it. You still do it?
No, God, can't
do it. But, that's what he did for life. Just moving. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Money's money. In fact, I'm an engineer, right? But in fact, I was making more money. At one point, I was doing AJ moving in Ottawa. Yeah, that's right. 2017, I believe. No, 2018. 17, 18, I believe. I was making more money than I was making as an engineer. And that's the problem because, we are now in a world where you're not supposed to work for yourself. So guess what? I'm an entrepreneur. I come here to Calgary, Alberta, for a reason.
And is a pain. No.
I'm a pain. Yeah, that's right. Because I share too much information. But this is why he's with me now in the video. Because, this is to show you, look, we're having coffee. We're enjoying life. Cheers, brother. Cheers.
Life.
Watch. Oh, God forbid I show the coffee because, this is the holy month of Ramadan for my Muslim brothers, right? Well, guess what? I don't agree with you. But I'm still a Muslim, supposedly. But last I checked, we're men of faith. So perhaps this is why they kicked me out. Maybe this is why. So if you're a man of faith, or if you claim to be one of so-called man of faith, right? At least you have to be, a human first before you call yourself a man of faith because you have failed otherwise to be a man of faith yourself. So check this out. You go to church because you're Christian. You go to the synagogue because you're a, cousin Jew. You go to the temple because you're Hindu, or you go to the mosque because you are so-called a Muslim, right? Well, great. You're all wrong. It doesn't matter because you are all fighting. That's great. Keep fighting. But at the end of the day, we're men of faith. 1 + 1 = 2. Reason with me, I reason with you. But otherwise, we're just here. Basically, we've been sold out. And you think someone just look. There's a war in the Middle East. Perhaps you have not heard the news. Perhaps maybe you're too busy to understand what's happening in the world. But that's what's happening. There's a system about to be brought. We have essentially digital world. I speak because I understand what digital world means. Everything is digital. You are nothing but a digital. So right now, the best way you can see me is through the, the video, the lens, YouTube, right? You cannot see me because unless you're physically with me, my brother is here. He's with me.
Oh man, yeah.
But we would speak. We'd be sitting here for an hour plus talking because life is nothing but a sharing of life experiences. And at the end of the day, if you're not going to, you don't live to work, right? You don't live to work.
Nope.
You work to live. You go. But life is not just work, and that's fine. And each to his own. You can work for the.
To live is to be free. Move to the mountains. Have a good life.
Well, that's
Simple.
kind of where a lot of people are gonna start hating on us in the video here, because that's right. The city is the dwellers. You are dwelling in the city. You wanna live in the countryside. Go live in the countryside. Live your life. There's when I came to Alberta, we have the same thing in Ontario. We have the Mennonites, or I've met the people in Brooks. They're Hutterites or Hutterites. What do you call
Hutterites.
Yeah, Hutterites. And basically, they are people who just simply they go and they have their own piece of land, and they just there's no jurisdiction, and that's basically where you live the life by the rule of the common law that you and those people abide by, and it's nothing but natural law at the end of the day. You respect people respect you. If I was being a dick to my Uncle Dick, he wouldn't be happy with me. He wouldn't be he wouldn't be Uncle Dick. What would you
Fucking Tasmanian devil, brother.
That's right, right? And this is life. You just you share life experiences, right? And in Canada, for example, we have the September 30th. They have what is it called? The indigenous. What is it called? The reconciliation and the truth.
Reconciliation.
Reconciliation. So what does reconciliation mean? Is before you reconcile, you have to basically speak the truth. And this is the truth. It's not just the truth. It's the universal truth. It's my truth as well.
They want the people to reconcile with the church, Catholic Church, and nobody's gonna do it. It's not worth it. They just gonna keep on doing the same thing over and over again.
See, not my words. So, not me. But at the end of the day, you have to understand, it's not about the Catholic or the Muslim or the Jews or you name it. Because last I checked, there are 5.8 billion people of faith. Faith is one, last I checked. So there's a specific group of people who are basically called the STOOGEs of the world. And at the end of the day, they say, everybody has a price. No, every stooge has a price. Not every man. Look, I'm an aerospace engineer. Uncle Elon Musk, right? That's what they call him, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why he follows me. Look, man, I'm supposed to be hanging out with the homeless because I was made homeless. What is this, right? No, because you have the gift of the mind, so you have to practice what you have. Practice your gift, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is this: the stooges. So every stooge has a price, like I said. So the stooges in some of the Muslim community centers, so to speak, and this is not, so to speak, just for the Muslim community or the Christian. Or listen, it's about being a human being first of all before you are, a person of faith, like I said before. There are people who are not fasting today. What's it to you? There are people who are fasting. Great, good for them, because that is the relationship direct you on supposedly somebody up there watching, right? That's what you trust. That's what you trust. But anyways, I'm going to leave it at this because, I can talk till the cows come home, so to speak. But at the end of the day, remember, you always have a choice in life. You always have a choice in life. You must just assert. And when they tell you have to set boundaries, that's exactly it. You are the body. The government or anybody else for that matter has no jurisdiction over your holy temple of the body, foundation,
Precisely.
the mind, and the will. My brother here, he's been listening to me talking most of the time. But again, he's in agreement, precisely. Why? Because you speak your mind and people resonate with you.
Pay attention and listen, man. You'll understand.
Words of wisdom, man. Words of wisdom. Oh shit! I broke the glasses.
Oh, that's okay. They're
My
fine.
bad. No, they're fine. They're fine. See, now you need the glasses, binoculars. The binoculars,
Oh,
the binoculars,
spectacles.
just to see life. The binoculars, man. Like, what's happening? Where's the binoculars? Anyways.
Oh,
Uncle,
wait! I sold those goddamn things.
Uncle Dick, tell us something. Look.
Something.
Tell us, crack us a joke. What is the shooters?
Little motherfuckers.
There we go. Layman language, man. Not me. I speak Arabic. My language is Arabic. I came to the land called Canada because there are two languages. What are they? Primary and what? Secondary, right?
Dick and asshole.
English and French. From the man. You heard it from the man himself. No, not me. So anyways, each to their own, man. Each one has that, thought and belief, to go about this and think for themselves, if you have a mind, that is. But unless you're a Darwinist, because perhaps if you're a Darwinist, maybe you are evolved to the, body of a human being, yet that intellect remains that of a monkey.
Let me tell you one thing, man. You read too much. If you read it, it's a black book. Don't do it.
Whatever that black book is. So yeah, go live life, man. Live life. Life is good. You know, you can work, you can be whoever you want, you can be engineers, great. You can just understand you have a choice. You have civil law and you have common law. But those who abandon their common law, you know what? Fine, go natural law. It's very simple, man. That triangle, there's a trust. There's a trust. You know, government is a trustee. And then you have the law enforcement beneficiary. And then you have, the executive, and then you have the beneficiary, which is what? That's you, all of us, public taxpayers. That's why there are social services, because at the end of the day, there's a public trust. You know, but there's foreign affairs and there's internal affairs, and how you treat your people internally sometimes is no one's business.
Right?
So stay tuned, man. Life is interesting. Life is always interesting. So
Cheers, Joe.
all right, cheers. Coffee. All right, man.